Hi guys, I'm Nivita. In this video we are going to see some questions based on entrance exam for teachers like TRB, CTET, TET exam. Okay, so actually this is a part 2 video. I have already uploaded part 1 video of this questions. Okay, we are going to see from 31st question. See, R dash S R dash T S R R T dash R R dash S R. So I will give you one trick, okay? Just substitute the options there and see whether there is any coherent or anything. Here the correct option is 3. Suppose if you substitute no, see the explanation, you will get R T S R R T S R R T S R R T S R, right? So the thing what you have to do is in your examination you have to take the rough paper and you have to substitute and check whether which option is correct. Okay, for 32 questions, see, there is one vertical line, there is one horizontal line. Okay, if there is one vertical line means there are two extra horizontal line. Extra in third picture, if there is one extra vertical line means then there will be like extra two horizontal lines, right? So what would be the next one is what would be the next one they are asking? It's like fourth option, because in this we can't able to see, but the thing is if you see in the question paper, if you get extra one vertical line means you will get extra two vertical lines. Okay, so likewise it used to be, so it's like fourth. In each subsequent figures, one vertical lines and two horizontal line segments are added in a set order. Next, the 6 person M, N, O, P, Q, R are sitting in 2 rows. Okay, 3 in each. Q is not at the end of the row. So, you have to draw the seating arrangements like this. First put like left then right. So, Q is not, what they are asking, telling is Q is not at the end of the row. So, you have to draw Q at the center. Understood? Then, P is second to the left of R. P is second to the left of R. So P is second to the left of R. First draw the R and then P is second to the left of R. Understood? So actually the thing is at first itself we can't find the exact image. Going through the process only will give you that image. Okay. Then O is the neighborhood of Q and is sitting diagonally opposite to P. So definitely see, O is present next to Q and is diagonally opposite to P. Understood? Then N is a neighborhood of R. N is a neighborhood of R. R is there and N is a neighborhood of R. On the basis of this information, who is facing N? Okay, actually, obviously Q is facing N, right? So that would be your answer. If mistake is coded as 9765412 and naked is coded as 84123, then intimated is coded as what? So for this option, what you have to do is for mistakes and all, there is one particular letter. Okay, for I means it's 7. So intimated I means 7. Here A means it's 4. No, so it's like A means 4. You have to write it like for mistakes. It's like this. See, for in mistake you have the letter A. Okay, the letter is coded as 4. In naked also we have one A. It is also 4. So what we can say is it's like direct number and direct letter. No, likewise we have to arrange that for intimated also. Okay, they have arranged it for intimated also. Understood? Find the odd one. 35th question. Calf, bitch, kitten, cub. So everything calf, kitten, cub are babies. But bitch is like a female one. Okay, so it's like calf is the younger one of cattle, elephant, antelope, whale, etc. Kitten is a baby of cat. Understood? Next, CPU contains what? A control unit and an arithmetic logic unit. Okay. Which of the following controls the process of interaction between the users and the operating system is user interface? Understood? Because interaction between the user and the operating system is user interface. First computers were programmed using which language? Machine language. Okay, there is one language for machine, that is what the first computer were programmed. Dash is a combination of hardware and software that facilitates the sharing of information between the computing devices. Network only helps to facilitate the sharing of information, right? So network. Coded entries which are used to gain access to a computer system are called passwords, right? We have to code something to gain access. You can go into that computer. Likewise, what will they say? Password only. Understood? Then we are going to see psychology, perspective on education and leadership. Which of the following would be the most appropriate way to encourage disadvantaged children to attend school regularly? A. Not allowing children to attend school may be made a legally punishable offense. Never. A child collector employed by the school must bring children from homes every day. It's not possible. Paying rupees 5 per day to attract children. No. Opening residential school. Right, opening residential school would be the correct answer. In a residential school, children are absent only if they are ill, otherwise, they have to present in their class daily. Next question, a child cannot distinguish between saw and was nuclear and unclear. He or she is suffering from dyslexia. Okay, like what to say? The words, no. So for that problem is dyslexia. Vygotsky theory implies, after initial explanation, do not support a child in solving difficult questions. Child will learn best in the company of the children having a IQ lesser than his or her own. Collaborative problem solving, individual assignment to each student. Actually, Vygotsky means it's social only. Okay, so collaborative problem solving only he would be saying. See, Lev Semyonsky Vygotsky was a Russian psychologist, the founder of the original holistic theory of human culture and biosocial development, commonly referred to as cultural historical psychology, and the leader of the Vygotsky circle. Vygotsky is famous for his theory of peer learning, okay, learning with the friends. The implication of the Vygotsky's theories and observations for educators are several and significant. In Vygotsky's view, the teacher has a collaborative task of guiding and directing the child's activity. Children can then solve novel problems on the basis of the model he or she has been shown in the class. In other words, children learn by solving problems with the help of the teacher who models process for them and his or her peers in a classroom environment that is directed by the teacher. In essence, the child imitates the teacher through a process of recreating previous classroom collaboration. It is important to note that the teacher does not control the class with rule and structure. Rather than the teacher collaborates with the students and provides supports and directions. Orthopedically impaired children are likely to have dysgraphia. Okay, actually dyscalculia means max disability. Okay, specific learning disability involves the innate difficulty in learning or comprehending arithmetic. Dyslexia means it's a very broad term defining a learning disability that impairs a person's fluency or comprehensive accuracy in being able to read. Dyslexia means the person couldn't able to read fluently, which can manifest itself as a difficulty with the phonologic awareness, phonological decoding, processing spread, orthographic coding, auditory, short-term memory, language skills. Okay, everything will come here. A child suffering from dyslexia cannot distinguish between saw and was, nuclear and unclear. Okay, saw was, it's like SAW, WAS, both are having same spelling, but the child couldn't differentiate between them. Nuclear also having the same spelling as unclear. The child couldn't distinguish between them. Those type of students comes under the dyslexia. Okay, dysgraphia is a learning disability that affects writing, which refers a complex set of motor and information processing skill. To write something, we need a complex set of motor and information processing skills for dysgraphia. Dysgraphia makes the act of writing difficult. It can lead to problem with spelling, poor handwriting, putting thoughts on paper. It is biologically based disorder with genetic and brain basis. Next, dysthymia is a chronic type of depression in which a person's mood are regularly low. It is also known as neurotic depression. Okay, dysthymia means neurotic depression. So it's like orthopedically impaired children are likely to have dysgraphia. Understood? Which one of the following is an example of fine motor skill is writing? Obviously, I told you now itself, right? Motor skill is a learned sequence of movement that combine to produce a smooth, efficient action in order to master a particular task. Generally, motor skills are divided into two categories, motor and gross motor. Many factors influence motor skills development, including birth weight, body build, parenting style, ethnicity, nutrition, personality, social class, birth order. Gross motor skill require the usage of large muscle group of perform tasks like walking, balancing, crawling, climbing, hopping. The skill required is not extensive and therefore are usually associated with continuous tasks. Much of the development of these skills occur during early childhood. Fine motor skills requires the use of the smaller muscle group, okay, to perform tasks that are precise in nature, that are accurate in nature. Activities like writing, playing the piano, and playing video games are example of using fine motor skills. Generally, there is a retention loss of fine motor skills over a period of non-use. Discrete tasks usually require more fine motor skills than gross motor skills. Actually, gross motor skills is like physical activity, climbing, jumping, everything comes under gross motor activity. It will develop in early childhood days. Then this fine motor skills is writing, doing some art and crafts likewise comes under this. So what is the question actually is a fine motor skill is writing, okay, others are gross motor skills. Then learning disabilities are generally found in especially those children those parental relatives have such problems. Learning disabilities are more often in boys as compared to girls, not more often in children belonging to rural areas, no. In generally those children, those parental relatives have such problem. Yes, in children with average to superior IQ. The cause of learning disabilities are not well understood actually, and sometimes there is an apparent cause for learning disabilities. However, some causes of neurological impairment includes the following. Hereditary learning disabilities often runs in the family. Children with learning disabilities are likely to have parents and other relatives with similar difficulties. Problems during pregnancy and birth. Learning disabilities can result from anomalies in the developing brain, illness or injury, fatal exposure to alcohol, drugs, low birth weight, oxygen deprivation, or by premature or prolonged labor. Accidents after birth. Learning disabilities can also be caused by head injuries, malnutrition, or toxic exposure, such as heavy metals and pesticides. Gifted students are independent in their judgment, right? Correct? Independent in their judgment. Gifted or talented students means a child or youth who performs at or slows the potential for performing at a remarkably high level of accomplishment when compared to others of the same age, experience, or environment and who exhibit high performance capabilities, possesses an unusual capacity for leadership, or excel in a specific academic field. Gifted students are independent in their judgment. In the information processing model of thinking, the following steps are said to take place. Information processing model, the following process should be takes place. What are these is response execution, response selection, pre-processing, categorization. The first option is C, pre-processing. First of all, we have to pre-process. Then we have to categorize. No. Yes, we have to categorize those things. And then we have to response selection. Just think, obvious thing is pre-processing would be the first one and response execution would be the last one. Before that, after that pre-processing, there would be like categorization and that response selection, right? So that would be the correct sequence of those steps. Information processing theory of thinking approach to the study of cognitive development evolved out of the American experimental tradition in psychology. Development psychologists who adopt the information processing perspective account for mental development in terms of maturational changes in basic components of a child mind. The theory is based on the idea that humans process the information they receive rather than merely responding to stimuli. Okay, so humans are processing the information rather to just Instead of just responding, they are processing the information. The steps of information processing theory of thinking are pre-processing, categorizing, response selection, and response execution. Partial reinforcement is more effective than continuous reinforcement. Okay, reinforcement means um, it's like we are encouraging the child. We should not continuously encourage the child. We should partially encourage the child. Learning is a faster if the award is given on every occasion. This is known as complete reinforcement. Research shows that if the award is given after a number of correct responses, learning takes longer but lasts longer. This is known as partial reinforcement. Thus, the partial reinforcement is more effective in the long term than the complete and continuous reinforcement. Understood? Adolescents may experience anxiety and concern about themselves. It's obvious, right? In adolescence period, everyone or what they used to think is anxiety and concern about themselves. Adolescent describes the teenage years between 13 and 19 can be considered as a transition stage from childhood to adulthood. However, the physical and psychological changes that occur in adulthood can start earlier, during the preteen or teen years. Adolescence can be a time of both disorientation and discovery. The transitional period can bring up the issues of independence and self identity, right? During this period, peer groups and external appearance tends to increase in importance. Anxiety during adolescence typically centers on changes in the way of the adolescent's body looks, feels, social acceptance. There may be some fights about independence. When flooded with anxiety, adolescents may appear extremely shy. They may avoid their usual activities and refuse to engage in new experiences. They may protest whenever they are apart from friends, or in an attempt to diminish or deny their fears and worries, they may engage in risky behaviors, drug experimentation, or impulsive sexual behavior. 51st question: which of the following is true in relation to error made by the children? A teacher should not notice every error, otherwise syllabus will not be covered. Correcting every error would take too much time and tiresome for a teacher. Errors can be corrected by children themselves, therefore the teacher should not immediately correct them. If a teacher is not able to correct all the errors in the classroom, it indicates the system of the teacher education has failed. That is a correct answer, right? If a teacher is not able to correct all the errors in the classroom, it indicates that the system of the teacher education has failed. Explanation: in relation to errors made by the children, it is true that if a teacher is not able to correct all errors in the classroom, it indicates that the system of teacher education has failed. 52nd question: which would be the best first theme to start within a nursery class? My family. Okay, it should be start with my family. Successful inclusion requires the following except segregation. So no one should be segregated, right? It can be involvement of parents, capacity building, sensitization. Successful inclusion requires the involvement of parent, capacity building, and sensitization. Then, if a teacher can make problem solving fun for students by doing all the following except expecting perfection from the students while they are trying to do things by themselves, providing open ended material, giving time for free play, providing endless opportunities for a creative thinking. So, the teacher should not do is expecting perfection from the students while they are trying to do things by themselves. Understood? A teacher can make problem solving fun for students by providing open ended material, by giving time for free play, and providing endless opportunities for creative thinking. Perfection is not possible always. This is why to expect perfection from the students while they are trying to do things by themselves cannot be fun for them. While selecting material for a portfolio of students should be there. What should be there in their portfolio? Inclusion students. While selecting material for a portfolio of students, inclusion of students should be there. Okay, every student should be included, not like backward students, physically challenged students. Every student should be involved. Best way to avoid gender discrimination in school may be: first option, recruitment of equal number of male and female teachers. formation of a rule to shun gender discrimination in the school and enforce it strictly, selecting of more boys than girls for music competition, metacognition of their gender based behavior by teacher. Okay, the best way to avoid gender discrimination is metacognition of their gender biased behavior by teacher. The teacher should not show any gender bias. That is what the best way. Monica, a math teacher, asks Radhika a question. On not getting any answer from Radhika, she quickly moves on and asks Mohan another question. She rephrases her question after realizing that Mohan is struggling to find the answer. This tendency of Monica reflects that she is slightly nervous about her question, supporting gender stereotyping of roles by favoring Mohan, trying not to put Radhika in an embarrassing situation, well aware of the fact that Radhika is not capable of answering question. Supporting gender stereotyping of roles by favoring Mohan. See, Mohan, she quickly moves on and asks another question to Mohan. Okay, she rephrases her question after realizing that Mohan is struggling to find the answer. It's like supporting gender stereotyping of roles by favoring Mohan, right? Gender stereotype or simplistic realization about the gender attribute difference and roles of individuals or group. Stereotypes can be positive or negative, but they rarely communicate accurate information about others. When people automatically apply gender assumption to others, regardless of the evidence to the contrary, they are perpetuating gender stereotyping. Understood? In order to instill a positive environment in a primary class, a teacher should, fourth one, not discriminate and set the same goal for every child. In primary school, teachers should not discriminate any student and should not set the same goal for every child. Okay? Which of the following characteristics is a hallmark of the problem solving approach? First one, there is usually one approach for getting the right answer never. The problem is based on only one principle or topic never. There is an implicit hint given in the problem statement. Yes, right. In a problem solving itself, there will be some hint. According to that hint, only we have to solve. Okay, then the problem is original, that is not right. So the problem solving methods of consist in using generic or ad hoc methods in an orderly manner for finding the solutions to problems. There is an implicit hint given in the problem statement. Then, of the following, the greatest advantage of interdisciplinary instruction is that the students are opportunities to generalize and apply newly learned knowledge in multiple contexts. Teachers are less likely to feel overwhelmed by the multiplicity of topics needed to be addressed in a traditional curriculum. Students are less likely to develop a dislike for particular topics of different subject areas. Teachers are permitted greatly flexibility in planning lessons and activities. Actually, here interdisciplinary means there are so many subjects, no. So among the subjects itself, there should be a correlation. Okay. So the thing is, students are given opportunities to generalize and apply newly learned knowledge in multiple contexts. That is what right interdisciplinary means. They have to use that particular knowledge in multiple context. So that is what it given in there. The local river system would be the unifying idea, but the English teacher would link it in a language art by studying river vocabulary and teaching students how to research report. The science student might teach children about the life system that exists in the river, while the social studies teacher might help students research the local history and people who use rivers for food and transport. Integrated instructions helps teachers better utilize instructional time and look deeper into subjects through a variety of content specific lens. Another benefit of integrated instruction is that teacher can better differentiate instruction to individual student needs. Integrated instructions also allows for authentic assessment. Final benefit of interdisciplinary teaching is that students have a chance to work with multiple sources of information. Okay. Learners who demonstrate an earnest desire for increased knowledge and academic competence are said to have performance approach orientation. Understood? Academic competence refers to performance orientation. students wish to achieve, that is what this performance orientation means. The students want to achieve high grades. The students have a sense of satisfaction, that is what highly influenced by their grades. Then the upscaling of performance in the scholastic area on the basis of performance in co-scholastic area can be justified as it caters to individual difference, right? Because scholastic areas means it's about studying. Co-scholastic means it's like apart from studying, extracurricular activities. So it caters to individual differences. A child of 16 years scores 75 in an IQ test. His mental age will be 16 age scores 75 in IQ test means mental age is equal to IQ score into age by 100. IQ score is what? 7. IQ score is what? 75, right? So 75 into 16 by 100. Okay. It's not 750, it's 75. So mental age is equal to IQ score into age by 100. Understood? So it's like 12 years. IQ formula is IQ is equal to mental age by age into 100. Actually, IQ formula is mental age by age into 100. One of the identical twin brothers is adopted by socially economically rich family and the other by the poor family. After 1 year, which one of the following may be most likely observed about the IQ scores? Socioeconomic level does not affect the IQ score. Please understand. Socioeconomic level does not affect the IQ score. Theory of multiple intelligence implies the following except emotional intelligence is not related to IQ. Intelligence is a distinct set of processing operations used by an individual to solve problem. Discipline should be presented in a number of ways. Learning could be accessed through a variety of means. Intelligence is a distinct set of processing operations used by an individual to solve problems. Intelligence is a distinct set of processing. Okay, the theory of multiple intelligence implies multiple intelligence, like emotional intelligence, is not related to IQ. That is what multiple intelligence is saying. Discipline should be presented in a number of ways. Learning should be accessed through variety of means. Here the thing except is intelligence is a distinct set of processing operation used by an individual to solve problem. That is what it's not. Theory of multiple intelligence is proposed by Gardner. Okay, in this book of Frame of Mind. The theory of multiple intelligence got 7 criteria are there. Potential for brain isolation by brain damage, place in evolutionary history, presence of cooperation, successibility to encoding, distinct development progression, the existence of savants, prodigies, and other exceptional people, support from experimental psychology and psychometric findings. Gardner chose 8 abilities: spatial, linguistic, logical, mathematic, body kinesthetic, musical, interpersonal, intrapersonal, and naturalistic. He later suggested that essential and moral intelligence may be worthy of inclusion. Okay, we have seen up to 65 questions. In next part, I will be teaching you another 15 questions. Thank you for watching.